Hello. Happy New Year. This is such a weird angle on Instagram, but it's the best I can do. Hi, Instagram. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Facebook, come on in. Come on in the room. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm gonna get started in 1 minute. I hope you're able to stay with me. Don't get that social media ADD, right? This is all we do. This is all we do. We scroll, scroll, scroll. Try to get rid of the social media ADD for a second. Happy New Year. Hey, Carrie, Happy New Year. Let's get rid of the social media ADD and just stay. Stay in one place for a second. I saw myself doing that. I was like, scroll, 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 scroll. I was like, wait a minute. Why have I just scrolled through like 60 people and what am I doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Some of y'all just getting home from church. Mm-hmm. So let's get started. First of all, I mean, seriously, Happy New Year. I did everything that I wanted to do last night and today. And it's just making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I canceled any plans that I had had. Like, well, I shouldn't say, well, yeah. I canceled plans to go out and I stayed in and I did exactly what it was I wanted to do. And I wanted to do everything around my growth, whether it was personal growth or business growth. I did that last night. And today there was a open gym happening in the Bronx, and I went over there and got one of the best workouts that I've gotten I haven't had in a while. So anyway, Happy New Year, Joe. Happy New Year. So hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. Those of you who choose to stick around, thank you so much for sticking around. And hi, Walter. Happy New Year to you as well. So my title on Instagram, you wouldn't know this, but the title on Facebook is Speak It, Write It, Read It. Speak it, write it, read it. And then it says rinse and repeat. So what is this all about in 2020? Folks, I forever will talk about your mindset. I forever will talk about your future self, the self that you're striving towards in the future. And I ask you today, what have you done to truly take a step in the direction? So if you begin to ask people what they've done to take a step, maybe they'll just talk about an action that they're going to do or planning to do or have done, and the action is great. However, I want to even go back to some of the basics. First of all, it's about speaking things, right? Speaking things. So what do we mean by that, folks? When in the beginning, when the Bible's talking about when God made the world, when God made the universe, okay? What is he doing? He's speaking it. But you're like, Alicia, why are you talking about God? It's me. Stay with me here a second. Stay with me a quick second here. He speaks to something that doesn't exist to bring it into existence. That is the model from which we can build from. I'll say it again. That's the model in which we can actually build from. Many of us, I'm not going to put myself in this category, sorry, but I'm not. But I know a lot of people that when I've talked about writing goals, they're like, kind of shrug it off like, that's cute and all. You do that, Alicia. But I'm telling you, there's something to this. So speaking it is first. So what does speaking it sound like? I have said a lot about bankrupt words, so I can tell you what it doesn't sound like. Does anyone know what some of the bankrupt words are? Oh, I'm hoping to do this. Okay, listen. Oh, I'm trying to. Okay, we're trying to. Oh, I just want to. Okay, so 3 words I just gave you. Hoping, trying, and just. Okay, so Denise, write more about what you're saying. I saw what you just wrote, but talk a little bit more about that because I'm trying to see where you are. And the other thing is, and if comments come up, I'm trying to address them as they come up. So I just was thrown off. Oh my gosh, get my thought back. So in terms of speaking it, right? Get rid of those bankrupt words. Even when you say, oh, I just want to. Got it. Thank you, Denise. So I just want to, even that belittling, that's a limiting thought. When you say, oh, I just want to do this. That's a limited belief. That's a limited thought. So first of all, speak it and speak it right. So one of the examples on Instagram that Denise just gave was when people say, oh, I'm broke. Girl, you just hit on something right there. I'm broke. When people say that, right? Raise your hands if you've heard someone say, I'm broke. Raise your hands. Let's talk truth. It's January 1. Let's talk truth. Oh my gosh, January 1. It's my little cousin's birthday. It's my little cousin's birthday and my other cousin's birthday, her uncle's birthday. Oh shoot, Jerry and Samantha. Anyway, let's talk truth. Okay, let's talk truth. It's January 1. I'm broke. When people say that, well, you're setting an intention. So let's talk about the good things to set. When you set an intention, when you speak, you are setting an intention. So begin to speak positive words, not the bankrupt-ish that maybe you might have been toying with in 2019. Okay? Second step, and I'm pushing you here, folks. I'm pushing you here to write it. To write it. If you think, oh gosh, this is, that's kind of woo-woo, Alicia. You're telling me to write it. You're making a big mistake here, folks. I keep saying this. Look it up for yourself. Number one, just from the data point of view, is that you are more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. Go look it up. Go look it up. That was research that was done around that. Now, let's talk about what else is happening as you write it. First of all, there was a study that was done. I think it was medical students or something like that. And they had to write a paper, some type of paper. And then there was a set that wrote it and another set that typed it. So what happened was that this set of students who actually wrote were able to recall and go back to it faster than the students who typed. So number one, I'm not talking about writing versus typing, but there's something to writing your goals, that it sticks to your brain, that it comes back to your brain, and that it becomes to be imprinted there. Okay? So you speak the thing that you want this year, you write it, and I've said this before, it doesn't need to be sexy in terms of how you write it. You don't need glorious colors. And actually, if you don't feel like writing it, if you want to do something more artsy, fartsy, and glorious, then create a vision board. 1 second. I'm totally not artsy fartsy, but I've done this in the past. So when we say write it, why are we saying to write it? I'm saying to write it because it creates a visualization. Can you hear me? Oh, let me move up into the light. It creates a visualization for you. You're actually looking at something so you can begin to visualize it, right? You're like, why is Jay-Z and Beyonce? I can't tell y'all all my secrets why Jay-Z and Beyonce are on my vision board. And they say, why is this monkey on her vision board? Not your business. Not your business. Mind it. I'm just showing you my vision board. I don't need to explain everything. There's different things. Live your best life. Live life. You can help turn things around. Actually, I can. Okay, so why are we saying to write it down? Why? Because you begin to look at it. right? Or if you put it on something fancy schmancy, you begin to look at that thing. So now you're speaking it. I want to, ooh. I'll talk about wanting in just a moment. I am, notice I just changed my vocabulary. I am this. I am that, right? And now I'm going to write down what it is that I'm declaring. And now what's the last piece? You speak it, you write it, now you're going to read it. You don't just like, if it's going to be a vision board, you don't just look at it once and then now it's going to go in the closet and I'll never see it again. You repeat this. I say rinse and repeat. Go back to it over and over again. Remind yourself of those goals. Remind yourself of those things that you've declared over and over and over again. Speak it, write it, read it. In fact, I read something in the 10X Rule, a book that I listened to a couple of times in the past few months. And the author, Grant Cardone, he actually writes his goals like every day, every night before he goes to sleep. I haven't incorporated that. Because I even, aside from my vision board, I also have a manifesto that I've typed. I have it written down. Actually, this is where I had it written. Oh, that's so funny that it's right here. This was my manifesto. Look, it's front, it's back. I had it for years that I would carry it around with me. Yes, that's why it looks like that. So that's my manifesto of my future self. I have this of my future self. He said he writes this down every night before he goes to bed. I probably can incorporate something like that. What's going to be good for you? So you think about what's good for you. And then you're reading it, right? You're not putting it away, but you're reading it. You're reading it. You're reading it. You're going back to it. You're saying it. And I did another live where I said, be careful who you tell your dreams to. So just like you're looking on my vision board, but right now is not the time for me to explain everything that's there. Because I got to be careful. I got to hold tight to my dreams. But speak it. Even if you're in the room, even if you're with this guy here. Oh, where's Simba? Simba, right there, right? Sorry, I find trouble right there where Simba is. I might just speak my goals to Simba. But nevertheless, what do I have to do? I have to speak it. I need to create some type of visual of it. And then I need to read it over and over and over again. Why? Because I need to manifest it. I see Joe saying something, and I love it when you all are participating because it makes me feel like someone's actually listening. Let's see what Joe says. Joe's over on Facebook. You're so correct with this topic. If you put the time into it, speaking it, writing it, and seeing it, there's more chance you are serious about your goals. And you know what, Joe, when you even say the words being serious about your goals, sometimes people may be scared to commit to it, right? Because Facebook, Instagram, this is such a weird angle. Sometimes when you do it, you're like making a promise to yourself and you're headed towards a commitment. So it is saying, I am serious about this thing. For me to, I can't read all of this to you, but for me to carry this around, I'm telling you, oh gosh, you know what? Oh, when did I write this? Oh, I wrote this in May of 2018. And I carried it around and I kept reading it because this is why it was important. It's still important to me. I've translated it. I've transferred it now into my phone so I can have it a little bit more accessible. And like, in case I lose the piece of paper, it's hard to get back. So I thank you for your point, Joe, being serious. What does being serious mean to you? Right now is a perfect time. Many of you have a few hours before you're going to sleep. So if you're saying, oh man, I gotta write down, do it now. Do it now while we're on this live. Why don't you grab a piece of paper? I'll work with you right now. You know, what are those things that you really want this year? Because when you begin to speak it, write it, and read it, I'm telling you, these things begin to manifest. These things begin to change. in your life, speak it, write it, and read it. I think it's safe to share this with you. I'm going to share this with you. I declared, and it must be written in one of my manifestos, that I would be an author. I'm going to be an author. Well, we all know what an author is. And there was this one opportunity that came around, and I was like, okay, I'm going to hop on this opportunity to be an author. And I think the program is legit. However, I was doing my best to manifest. I was actually doing my best to manifest the investment that it was. Notice, I was sitting, I was visualizing it. I was, but it didn't happen. So let me talk about when it feels like manifestation doesn't work. So my opportunity came and it went. No opportunity to be an author. Well, I just let it go, right? I did everything I know how to do, and so I let it go. Well, I'm going to say that about 3 to 4 months after that opportunity to be an author slipped out of my fingers, even after trying to manifest, I got several opportunities in several co-authoring opportunities. All of these projects will come out this year, between like the spring and the summer, and maybe some in the fall. But did you hear what I said? So I went from just looking at doing one authoring project to multiple co-authoring projects. Yeah, so to co-authoring projects. So I'm looking over here on Instagram and it says, does that mean it just wasn't time? Right. So, but we still continue with it because I will say God had something greater for me. Some people say the universe had something greater. So the intention was there. The where of, as far as where it was going to come from, was not going to be the place that I thought it was going to come from. The opportunity came from somewhere else. But nevertheless, it wasn't even the one-stop deal that I had thought that I was going to do. Instead, it was multiplied. So the manifestation happened, but not in the way I thought that it was going to happen. So that's exactly what it meant, Denise. And so, yeah, so doing this, it sets the intention. What did I start off by saying? In the beginning, God speaks to something that isn't and creates something that is. We have that same power. We have that same ability to be able to do the same. There's this verse in the Bible, going to go even more Bible-y on you, even more New Testament. New Testament on you. So if you feel like you don't want to hear this part, then close your ears real quick, close your ears. But to those of you who are willing to stay and listen for a moment, in the New Testament, I forget which book it was. It says the same. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much, Denise, for stopping by. It says the same power that raised Jesus from the dead is the power that we have, the power that is within us. So it's like, oh my gosh. If you are a believer of that and you believe in that power, then you don't need to walk around with your head down and walk around and feel powerless. Instead, you're so much more powerful than you're tapping into. And I'm going to say, if you're not speaking your future self, you're not writing about what your future self, who she is or who he is, and if you're not reading it, speak it, write it, read it, and continuing to do that, you're not tapping into the ability and the power to manifest at all. You're lying in such great capacity. When you put your hands on your head, let me just tell you, your brain, your mind, there's so much there that you could be doing. And if you're sitting wishing, hoping, wishing, praying, hoping, wishing, praying, it's not called hope, wish, pray. It's called speak it, write it, read it in 2020 and do it again. There's so much more within you that you can be developing and cultivating and manifesting the thing that's inside of you. So that said, if you are a consultant of any sort, a coach of any sort, there is a virtual summit that I'm a part of. So go ahead, and if you click on my profile pictures, any one of my profile pictures, all the information is there. I hope that I will see you at that summit. It's coming up really soon, so you need to go ahead and check. If you're watching this on replay Facebook, can you please type in #replay so I know that you saw it. So I am getting off of this thing. Hi, my dear. I'm getting off though. Okay, and thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who share. I thank you so much. I thank you so much for sharing it, and I hope that when you get off of this, that you will speak it, you will write it, and you will read it. I have to go. And if you see I'm choking, I just found one Amar antibiotic that I need to take, so I need to go ahead and take that pill. I thought I took them all. Ooh. Okay, bye.